Ladder.
How you guys doing?
What's up, here we go.
What's up, I figured I gotta get you some more users. We'll watch your numbers jump up in a second once my live message goes out.
Thank you, Ken.
I'll be watching closely.
I actually wanted to join because I got a couple of, and here they go. I got a couple emails and I saw a comment on card porn, people disappointed Ken sold or he's cashing out. And I just want to make something very, very clear. And thank you for the congrats. I took no cash in this deal. Okay, I could have taken. And by the way, sorry, I actually lying in bed with my wife, left the room, went in the guest room to do this. So I got my AirPods in. I'm in, got the backdrop, got my T-shirt on. So sorry, I won't pull down the covers and show what's under. But I wanted everyone to know that I could have taken a large friggin' check, or I could have taken stock in Collectors Holdings, which I believe is, basically a barometer for the future of the hobby, because there are a lot of components. There's an auction, there's a marketplace, there's a grading company, there's authentication, there's basically soup to nuts, kind of like GOAT, kind of like StockX. So my viewpoint was that I would rather take stock at the valuation today and look 3 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, and see it 5 to 10 to 20 times that, as opposed to take cash. So I took no money out of the deal. There was a valuation put on Goldin. I got that based on stock, and it is, like basically letting it ride, leaving it on black, leaving it on red, whatever your favorite color is, and just letting it ride. So I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that, because I didn't want anyone to think that, and listen, I was signing Shaquille O'Neal to an exclusive draft pick contract when Nat was a toddler. So if anybody thinks that I am going to change the way I do business, or that Goldin is going to be run any differently, it's not going to happen. The other thing I want to point out that you guys very intelligently mentioned is about 99% of the cards that we get at Goldin Auctions come to us graded.
Yeah.
So I mean, you don't have many, except for the big Puerto Rico fine we got in late 2019 that we sold over an 18-month period. You don't see many of these high-end cards that are not graded. So I just wanted to say hi to you guys, make sure everybody knew that. I'm not going anywhere. We're not changing anything. I'm not sitting with a brand new $100 million in the bank account. I am riding it on the future of the business. And to me, again, like I said in one of the news things, is you look at Goldin and look what happened. CCG, they were bought by Blackstone, but guess who else is in it? Michael Rubin, Fanatics. So I look at the business and say, am I better off owning a larger piece of a standalone company, or am I better off owning a smaller piece of a much larger conglomerate that really, I look at Collectors Holdings kind of like the S&P of the hobby, because you've got a marketplace, you've got you've got card prices, you've got grading, you've got authentication, you've got some sports memorabilia dangling in there as well. You've got other things coming that I can't discuss, but it is really something that, I was very, very excited about, which is why I did it. So I want everyone to know that, and that was it.
Ken, I have 2 questions.
Sure.
We don't get this opportunity much, so I gotta hit you with some questions.
I'm
not gonna go easy, Ken. You know how I am. All right, first one. Do you think this is gonna make the update to the website faster? Because you know this, dude. I know it bothers you. It bothers all of us.
Yes.
The site update. Is this gonna help?
Okay. So basically, for some of you may remember, I was very pissed off at SAS in February.
Yep.
And I said, I'm not running another auction again until my new website is up. And then, of course, my tech team said, you may not run an auction for another 6 months. So we changed that. The good news is that we left the old platform a couple weeks ago. We went to Azure. I don't know if people have seen it, but it's been a lot faster. There's been several auctions with no crashes. As far as our own site, you will, if you show up to the event at the National, you will see it. And we will have it ready. Ross is probably up, but he's not watching, so F that. But we will have it up we will definitely have it up within the next 60 days.
Great.
Okay, and there will be an app as well. The app will not come immediately thereafter, but there will be an app.
Well, Ken,
question number 2.
I have a lot of empathy for building apps, so I chuckle a little bit when your team says 6 months, because I've been on that side of it before as well.
Yep. Oh, and by the way, the web, for those saying Azure, our platform will be on AWS. The problem is SAS is, I guess they created in 2003, and it's like Microsoft based, and it's not something that can go on AWS. And right now, I'm just happy that we're able to support several thousand people trying to bid at the same time without crashing. It's been friggin' great for the past several months.
Question 2 is more of just like giving you an opportunity to say anything you want about the conflict of interest topic, because it keeps coming up. We discussed it a little bit. Is there anything else you wanted to add?
Sure. People talk about the grading. I have never, to give you an example, I guess Reza is the head of grading. I would not know him if I met him, except I see his picture on the website. I've never spoken with him. I've never emailed him. My understanding is that the graders don't know whose cards they're grading when they are spot checked. The spot checkers know, because they've got to make sure it's the right invoice. The graders don't know. And we're looking at a company that we hope one day is worth $10 billion, in all seriousness. So it's not something that is even within the realm of possibility. And there are so many hands in between them. It's like Berkshire Hathaway. You look at them and they own 8 different insurance companies. There is, Collectors Holdings to me is going to be the stock market of our industry. And you've got different companies underneath it. My incentive, my compensation is based solely on what Goldin does. And that basically means if I'm going to make more money for my business, I'm going to get it graded by a competitor. I'm going to do what's best for my consigners. I work for my consigners, and that's what I'm going to be doing.
One last thing, one of the things that we've talked about is this sort of like corporatization or monopoly occurring. And like as collectors, it makes us a little nervous about all these like business moves. So you being like a collector, someone who's been around a long time, why don't you speak to sort of the like long-term focus of how this is going to positively affect us as a hobby and as collectors, knowing that all of these sort of business moves are being made?
Well, basically, what the business moves are going to create competition. Okay, so now you have Collectors Universe Holdings in one end with a group. You've got CCG. It's not going to be the only foot. You've got it's not going to be only shoe to drop. You do have other shoes that will be dropping in the industry. I guarantee you that. You also have Topps, which is now public. You've got Panini, which has been shopping. I'm not under an NDA, so I can say that Panini has been shopping. So you have major corporations going into it. Now, these major corporations, they have quants, they have analysts, they have experts, and they are in it. You put $1 billion to buy a business, and then you go out and you spend $500 million buying other businesses to round it out. You want it to be long term. You're not looking, when you're going out to sell yourself, let me be realistic, okay? And then and I don't want to pick on any card manufacturer, so I won't say the name. But if you think that, okay, the market is good and you want to sell yourself, you're going to produce the fuck out of every single product you possibly can to goose up your numbers, right? Okay,
Yep.
and you're going to try and get the best price you possibly can. But if you're buying that and you're buying it for a long-term asset and you're an equity fund that has people's money, you're going to make sure you nurture the assets, okay? And that is why, for example, I don't want to get in their business, but that is why PSA only opened up one level, because you know what they can't do? If they wanted to hold hostage another $20 million worth of grading, they could have taken it in and they could have said, okay, you're going to wait 6 months. But guess what? We've captured that. Somebody looking for short term and saying, oh my God, CSG is doing this and SGC is doing this and Beckett's doing this. They would have opened up everything. They would have captured all the cards. Okay. For example, we're coming out with a vault. We actually have a vault already. We have not mass marketed it because we don't want, we don't want, we're not ready with all the software, and we're not ready to promote it and do the way we want to do it Golden style. So we're soft opening, but we have a soft open. So some of our VIP customers are having it. But one of our competitors heard we were doing it. So what they did was they said, we're going to open up our vault and we're not going to charge anything. We're going to do it free March month. Okay, free March and free April, because what they wanted to do was they wanted to get as much product as possible. They didn't care how low end. They didn't care if you had a $200 card. Okay, they wanted to get it because they wanted to keep it from us. If PSA wanted to stop the people from sending it to the other companies to get grading, they would open up all the services. They'd get another 3-year backlog and say, great, we've got guaranteed revenue for the next 3 years. Right. So that's the difference between operating a business on the short term and operating the business on the long term. Oh, something else, I will let you guys have a coup. We're announcing this. I did a video for this, but the video is not going to be ready till Monday. As we talk about different things that create demand, and I saw one of the great things earlier in April. It said, demand meets supply, talking about some of the cards. So between January, and this will explain a lot of the movement in various prices. Between January 1st and the end of February, we got in 40 PSA 10s. 40 PSA 10 1986 Jordan cards.
Wow.
We are out. So we have one in the current auction. We have one in the July card auction that is following. And then we have one for Goldin Elite, which is late August. That's it. We've not gotten a new one in the past 45 days. So what that meant is people saw those prices. They all wanted to sell. Now that they realize they're not going to get those prices, they're holding. We were able to sell about 15 or 20 of those privately into very strong hands. So what happens is you took 14% of the entire population, 14% of the entire population out of the marketplace into new hands at prices that are not going to be selling at 200, not going to be selling at 300, not going to be selling at 400. So I actually did a video where I had about 20 of the fleers laid out in front of me, and we're going through and explaining this process. But I think that because that was one of the leading indicators, that was the first card that spiked too much, and that was the first card that spiked all the way down. I call it a lead, like compared to a market, that's a leading indicator. I think that card is going to be a leading indicator of the bounce back, because that excess supply that wanted to be sold at 400, 500, 350, 600, whatever, is gone from the market. And until the prices get back there again, you're not going to see them in the marketplace. So you're not going to see 286 fleers in the market ever again. And I've also told my staff, if we happen to get 2 or 3 at the same time, we're never running 2 at the same time again.
Did you guys stabilize in terms of supply on everything being sent to you? Because we noticed that you were running massive auctions, and this one that's running right now is a little bit smaller. Do you see the supply sort of stabilizing long term, or are you still getting a lot of stuff?
No, we are we getting it? We're trying hard to get it, but we're trying hard to get, like, I'm telling my guys right now, and I know you guys are big basketball guys. I'm telling my guys, get me baseball. Concentrate on baseball, because basketball ran hot for Years. I mean, 2 years plus. It was the number one sport. So it has to take a breather. And as you
Yeah.
get into the postseason, you don't have LeBron, you don't have the big superstars. Hopefully for people's card collections, whether you love them or hate them, hopefully for card collections, I think the best outcome is the Bucks win
Yeah.
championship. But right, you say no. But you're obviously not a Giannis fan. Maybe you want Trey, or maybe you want Chris Paul.
Oh, he
I'm
doesn't
in,
Or
want.
I'm in,
Booker.
I'm in
He wants.
Phoenix, Ken. I'm in
Okay.
Phoenix. I'm a
Oh,
Suns
okay.
fan.
You
Yeah.
don't
Oh,
let him
okay.
lie to you,
Okay.
Ken. He wants Trey big time.
Okay. Um, but basically, what you're going to have several months, and then in October, November, you're going to have the hype again for basketball. So I want to cool down, because if you look at some of our auctions, 80%. You know something? The basketball cards that are fresh, that people haven't seen in 6 months, that haven't been run in every auction, they do great.
Yep.
We did the Kobe LeBron MSG card. It was like bonkers, because you know
Yep.
why? People hadn't seen that card. Okay, the
Yep.
Kobe logo man, even though the condition was not great with the white specs, the card went for ridiculous money. I mean, is unbelievably strong, because people don't see it. So people love the hobby. They just get bored of seeing the same card. A LeBron refractor PSA 10 rookie can only be hot so many times in a row. And I just,
Yep.
oh my God, Golden's got another one. Oh my God, this guy's got another one. Oh my God, this guy's got another one. So those, what I call flagship cards, like the Kobe refractors, the Kobe chromes, the LeBron chromes, the LeBron refractors, the Fleer Jordans, those cards have drastically slowed down the outgoing supply, which is going to, people are going to get them. They're going to dissipate. I mean, I think right now, literally 60 days, I use the Jordan as an example, 60 days from now, people are going to look at the 86 Jordan and say, where'd they all go? I was waiting, and they're gone. I hope that, and I hope and I expect that it's a very slow domino effect with a lot of these cards that you've been seeing too much of, that, look, we used to all consider as very rare. Look, I remember telling somebody who was asking me, like, what's the best Kobe? And I said, well, if you want a real rare one, there's a pop 63 of the chrome refractor. And then all of a sudden we get this big price. I get friggin' 12 of them. Okay. I mean, it's great, but I don't want 20% of the world's population of one great card, because it falsely makes people think it's a common card, or
Yep.
it's easy to get, and that is not the case. So that's what So that I think that is definitely happening. I think our auctions are going to be great, but they're going to be smaller quantity. They're not going to be
Hmm.
4, 5, 6 of the same great card, or 2 or 3 of the same great but similar card, competing with each other. And the other thing we're doing is, we've announced a soft announce. By soft announce, I mean like on Instagram only. Monday's going to be the huge announcement, because it's going to be on Barstool Sports itself. We soft announced the Barstool deal.
Hmm.
So these guys got millions and millions of followers, and these people spend money like crazy. So they're going to go out and they're going to be pushing cards, and I'm going to be on there. I'm going to be opening up cards with the guys. I'm going to be doing it every month, every month. We have a special deal that we'll be talking about with breaking with some of the ESPN guys, which also, but my goal is always to bring more people in, because the
Hmm.
more people you have looking to buy, then the cards are coming off the market. People always used to bitch at me about, how do you sell these game used to Panini? Like Topps and Panini buy all your game used jerseys and they cut them up. And I'm saying, do you know what a LeBron James or a Mike Trout or anybody else jersey would be worth if Panini did not cut up 60% of the world's supply? That is what made the demand for that
Yep.
type of stuff. That's why Brady jerseys are so expensive, because virtually every one has been cut up by these card companies.
Yep.
So we don't want people to cut up cards, but what we do want them to do is go to new homes. We want them to go to homes that are not the same names in every single one of my auctions, winning the same similar lots because they feel they've got to, add to their collection or protect their investment. We want brand new people to own exactly one of that card. We don't want someone to own 5 or 6. We want brand new people to own one and to treasure it and to take that supply out of the market and then look for other things. Whether it's a brand new 2022 box when the product comes out, or whether they look back and say, oh, Miss Jordan, I mean, as crazy as it is, there are people out there that have cards from the 1980s and the early 1990s, and then they have nothing for 20 years. Nothing for 20 years. And then they have a kid and they say, okay, I'm going to start, collecting with my son, or I'm going to start, or whatever. And that's who we've got to get into it.
Yeah, man, hearing this straight from you it's fucking amazing, honestly. Like, just to hear, because no, I'm not kidding, because you have a very important role, Ken, and I'm sure you're obviously aware of that, where you control some of the supplies, some of the stuff, and to hear you sort of like take us through your mindset about how you take that seriously and how you're not trying to, just cash in like you could I think is important for the hobby to know long term, and hearing it directly from you it's great, man. So I appreciate the honesty.
And look, one of these days when my wife is not so paranoid, I will like take a video and I will like walk through my office in the house and I will walk through my basement and people will say, holy shit, I can't believe that's there. But she doesn't like me to show off my stuff. She figures, oh, somebody's gonna come to the house and rob us. Like whatever. But I'm like, no, they're gonna rob Matt Turner first, is what they're gonna do.
Nice.
Right.
Nice.
But hopefully Matt doesn't see this video. I don't know, but he'll probably laugh at the toddler comment. I had to endure my head being ripped off by Thanos Nat, so he can endure my toddler comment about Shaquille, about when I signed Shaquille.
What did you think about that? What
Huh?
did you think about that? Just very directly, what did you think?
I think he's funny. I do think he's funny. I liked the Star Wars Anakin Skywalker one better with no more crashes. But it's I can see it, but what they don't understand is these guys would be screwed. The last thing they want is me lying lifeless on the floor. Okay, that's that I can tell you that I have a key part of this was ensuring that I can be insured for enough money before the deal was done. So I can guarantee you that of every single employee out of all the related companies, I'm going to guess that my life insurance policy they took on me is probably equal to everybody else combined. So yeah, they want me happy and healthy and doing what I do for a long time.
All right, Ken. Well, appreciate the time. This was really great. We should do some of this more often, have you jump on, because, we obviously support you and want you to do the best. So thanks for coming on.
Cool. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Yep. You too. Bye.
Imagine everything you love about the hobby in the palm of your hand. An entire store at your fingertips. Everything you need to know about cards is within your grasp. Unlock the secrets of the hobby. Plus, so much more. You don't have to imagine anymore. It's here. Card Ladder. Get the app today.